This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Morning, Coach. How you doing? It is 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
I'm doing good. It's a good morning. Obviously, you must have had absolutely zero sleep, and it's affected you. And I almost would rather see Fool in the Pool than karaoke kookie.
Are you asking to bring back Fool in the Pool?
I almost would rather see it.
Almost.
Preferably, neither will show their face again.
Why are you so grumpy? Are you grumpy because you lost a little bit of your lead on me in the predictions battle from this past week in physical football? What is Ed Young grumpy pants today for? What's the reason?
No. I'm good. I feel good.
We have to go Gucci goo. What's going on? Oh, please don't. Oh no. Do I have to look at this garbage again? Look at this graph. Oh geez, disgusting.
See, the NY has moved one more space.
Oh, can I throw up in a bucket, please?
Going to get a little tougher though. Toronto will be a little tougher. That's going to go 5. I just hope the Yankees get 3 of them. Interesting. Some good baseball, some really good baseball.
No, it's lousy. The Diamondbacks didn't make it, and then we didn't get the All-Ohio showdown we wanted with Francona against his old team. We didn't get
now, and the whole world had the Dodgers in 2, and it happened. A lot of people had Detroit in 3. It happened.
Didn't want it.
We'll see what happens. I'm interested in the Philly Dodger matchup. I think it's the best matchup of the second round.
You know, doesn't that have the feels of an NLCS in the second round, NLDS, doesn't it? I mean, I hate to disparage the Cubs who are without Horton and the Brewers with the best record in the sport, but it really feels like Dodgers Phillies, the winner, that's going to be the favorite to not just win the National League, but perhaps the whole thing. That's
what I hear by the talking heads. Everybody's saying whoever wins that wins the National League and a great shot at winning it all. So, and the American League, I'm hearing people are giving all 4 teams a shot.
Well, Brian Wu, is he healthy for Seattle is the big question I have, number one. We know Tarek Skubal is the best pitcher going. The Yanks had to deal with the other best pitcher in the AL, Garrett Crochet, in Game 1. But are you concerned about Game 1? Like they lost the first one in the short series. It's a best of 5. It's Luis Heel against Kevin Gausman. Are you concerned if they don't steal the first one in Toronto, or do you feel, we get Game 1, we can go back to Yankee Stadium, get at least another one, if not both, we'll be in good shape?
I'm going to do what everybody else says. Game 1 is important because Game 5 is in Toronto. And I think it's going to go 5. And this series, this year, the home team has dominated the matchup. I think Toronto's won more games than the Yankees, and both of them have won more at their respective stadiums. So it would be really good to get the first one. You want to split when you go before, then come back home. If you get both, it's done with. So that's how I look at this. And I thought the Red Sox would beat the Yankees in 3. I said it. I was wrong, which I'm glad. And I'm a little nervous with this 5. I think Toronto has great hitting and probably one of the best fielding teams in baseball. And we say fielding, why? Because the Yankees have proven at times one of the worst.
Shaky.
And Toronto puts the ball in play.
They do.
So Yankees can't be doing no bad news Bears reruns because they'll get beat. The only thing is Bichette doesn't play for Toronto, that helps the Yankees. And I guess he's a game time or decision.
Well, I was about to say they have a Yankee killer from his Astro days and one George Springer.
Yeah, Springer is murdered to the Yankees.
He's a Yankee killer.
Schleter came through. My guy Cam Schleter. Got to watch how you say the last name slowly.
It's not Schlitter?
Schlitter. I'm not going to say the last name.
This baseball season's in the blank, but hey.
It was a good Schlitter show, is what I heard when they played. It was the back of the New York Post. What a Schlitter show.
Okay, we're not going to spend 25 minutes on the Yankees here. This is not
because everybody.
But I will make this vow to you: if they make it back to the World Series, I will make this vow to you that we will get Dave Sims, the play-by-play voice. Hey now, and good friend on the show. I will make that vow to you.
You said you wear the Yankee jersey, just like I would have to wear somebody's jersey.
You have to give me one, but I am rooting with every fiber of my body for that not to happen. We've got some college football. We'll talk about NFL picks at the conclusion of today's episode, but it is time to go over the high school football action from Thursday night first, Ed, before we get to Friday night. And that means the PD from center stage with a big matchup out of
Yes, we do have.
One was at Todd, one was at Darling. But it started off last Saturday in the pouring rain while I was doing the radio pinch hitting for Ted Alexander on the mic with James Witham on the call of Old Dominion's win over Liberty at rainy SB Bauer Stadium, Cornwall Field. Across the tunnel was the Warwick Raiders beating the Phoebus Phantoms to end the 51-game winning streak and 68-game Peninsula District winning streak. We'll talk about another district winning streak that was about to snap on Friday night. But give us the scores first from Thursday's games, as Phoebus was back in action. So too was their rival over at Todd.
Well, we'll go in that Phoebus game, which was a big game at Highland Springs, statewide known Highland Springs. I went with Phoebus. You went with the Springers, and you got a game on me because the Springers took them down 28-0. I would never see Phoebus getting shut out. I understand Springers are very good. I went with Phoebus. 28-0. Explain to me how that happens.
We will. We have interviews coming up. But before we get to that, if I had told you, which I found out literally 5 minutes before kickoff, that the junior quarterback for Phoebus, your pick for Peninsula District Offensive Player of the Year, Old Dominion commit Maricus Banks, would not be in uniform from a shoulder injury he sustained against Warwick last weekend, and word is he will be back in a couple weeks for when their rivalry game takes place against the Hampton Crabbers over at Darling Stadium. Would you have changed your pick?
I'm going to say yes, because I'm not sure how good the backup is, and you're putting a backup in against an extremely good team. Okay. So I'm nervous on that one. And now that I hear 28-0, do I say that's mostly because of that? Or am I taking some of the power away from Highland Springs?
You are when you do that. I think you're knocking their abilities. It certainly impacts Phoebus not being able to score the football, which they had 20 points on the board in their 34-20 loss to Warwick last week. But we'll also give you a chance to put another asterisk by your picks, because you like doing that to make yourself sound and look better, which you need every little bit of that you can as you try to cling to a narrowing lead against me in the picks. But that was not the only game that happened, Ed, because there was another game over there at Todd Stadium, and that involved the rival of Phoebus behind Marcus Chapman trying to bounce back themselves from a lopsided loss they suffered at the hands of the Glen Allen Jaguars last week.
It was the Hampton Crabbers. They came back nicely, beautifully, as they knocked down Denby 49-13, not even close. I thought it would be closer. I didn't pick Hampton. I thought it'd be closer.
Well, you thought incorrectly, because Gene Jones Jr. blocking a punt, as we learned, is no relation to our Gino that watches our show and interacts with us. That got Hampton rolling, and Marcus Chapman, the quarterback, had a big completion to Abraham Taft right there near the goal line, and it ended up being all she wrote, the Hampton Crabbers taking care of Denby in that one. So they were able to rid themselves of the bad taste that was in their mouth from the loss that they had. Casey Lasser finding the end zone, so did Marcus Chapman, the QB. It was 36-7 into the third quarter, and Hampton pulled away 49-13 in that one as Chapman led the way for them. Kevin Parker did have a touchdown pass to Jaron Evans and one to Jashawn McIntyre in defeat. But going back to the other game, because that was the story of the night, really the game of the week in one realm. There was really two games of the week, one on Thursday, one on Friday, in high school football around the 757. Would you like to hear from a couple of the participants from the Springers out of the 804 coming out of the 757, taking care of business against the Phantoms?
we got to give them their just dues. They won the game. They knocked off one of our best in Phoebus. Let's hear from them.
Okay, who would you like to hear from first?
Let's see. Give me the running back.
Okay, well, we don't have the running back. We have the quarterback, but he ran the football a little bit.
And then he gets first dibs.
He's your buddy, and he goes by the nickname of Buddy. Let's hear from him right now on Cova Sports.
All right, we're with the Highland Springs two-way standout, wide receiver, converted quarterback now, Antoine Buddy Richardson, as his team pitches a shutout 28-0 of the Phoebus Phantoms here at Darling Stadium in Hampton. All right, little Brody told me that you had on a Hampton University shirt earlier today because they've offered you, and you said, I feel like I'm at home in a 757. How's it feel to come to the 757 after they beat you in 804 last year and get it done?
It felt good. We didn't like the upcoming. We didn't like the result from last year, so we had a good week of practice. We watched film as much as we can, and we just came out here and played our heart out. I'm proud of my guys.
You have 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. You throw for 112 yards and a touchdown. You get an interception on defense, but maybe the best play there was a touchdown taken away from you when you're hurting a guy. Was that something you practiced on Madden? Tell me about that play.
Yeah, it was an indecisive decision. I was going to lower my shoulder at first, but I was like, nah, why not just take the leap? Try my hand, and they gave it to me, but you see, got called back. So, hey, that's a good highlight, though.
It is a good highlight. Keep that on the huddle film. And by the way, if I was that indecisive, I'd be still playing ball right now. But, Buddy, tell me about just the progression in this offense for Coach Jay, Coach Johnson, and the staff after last year playing wide receiver. A lot's asked out of you, and you guys have had a tough schedule, playing Huff from Carolina, playing Hopewell to start, South County, Dinwiddie went to overtime. What have you guys learned during this process? What have you learned playing a quarterback spot?
I learned a lot of things. Last time I played quarterback was rec, so we had a little thing going on. I'm like, Coach, I feel like I can do it. Mm-hmm. So we had a talk, and I just felt like I can lead the team in the right way and dominate at any level of the game, wide receiver, corner, quarterback. So I just do what my team needs me to do so we can win games.
Sure, come on, let you run here. What are your best traits as a football player? Is it just your instincts? What do you think it is to set you apart?
My knowledge, my instincts, and knowing when and where people are going to be at, because I play both sides of the ball. So I know the tactics and tendencies that the defense have and offensive-wise. So I just use my knowledge.
Good deal. Recruiting-wise, you got a lot of attention. I know Hampton's offered you. Who else is in the picture? And I know you like the Pirates a good deal, right?
Yeah, I like Hampton. Coach Gibson, my dog. So I got Hampton, Sydney, Shawan, Christopher Newport, and UNC Pembroke. But I like Hampton, though.
Lastly, what's it going to take for Highland Springs to be playing come December and have a chance for a championship? That's always the standard and the goal, and you guys could be a team come December doing that.
Keep practicing hard. Keep coming out here, giving everything we got, and just dominate every game that we play in. Don't let nobody feel like they're in the game with us.
When you watch the Springers play, you're going to see number 2, Buddy, make some plays and hurdle people, too. Good win tonight over Phoebus. Thanks so much. Congrats.
Appreciate you.
Good job. Good work, man. Appreciate you.
Antoine Buddy Richardson helping Highland Springs, having a hand in all 4 of their touchdowns, amassed 437 yards of offense, Ed, with 325 on the ground in their 28-0 demolition of the reigning 4-time state champion Phoebus Phantoms. It is 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll be hearing from the head springer, Loren Johnson, in just a moment. But before we get to Coach Johnson, Ed, those numbers offensively on the Phantoms, I know they graduated 19 starters, 10 on defense, 9 on offense. But after Warwick, and you know, we played some of the highlights, you watched them from what Warwick did on Phoebus running the ball up the middle. There's some concerns for Phoebus's defense, and I think it sits with the rival coming up in a couple weeks in Hampton, but also in Region 4A, because guess what Churchland, and guess what Hampton, and also guess what Lafayette want to do? They want to run the football, and if you can't stop the running football, you're in trouble.
Precisely. The Warwick, I remember watching the highlights. I thought it was a continuous rerun of Warwick getting the yardage. What was the youngster's name for Warwick? It got the running back that was getting the yardage.
Arius Downtown Brown.
Brown. Yeah, what can Brown do for you? He went through that Phoebus defense like I've never seen a person run ever. And now Highland Springs gets chunks of the ground. I would be definitely concerned if I'm Phoebus. What's going on? Especially up the middle, which is supposed to be their biggest strength. What's going on with this? And you know, people watch football teams watch film. You know, we know Lafayette traditionally big time runners. They take advantage of that. Phoebus can be looking at going from domination to trying to hold on to win. And I've never thought about that as a Phoebus team.
All right, but before we take a break, let's hear from the head man of the Springers, shall we?
Let's do that.
Loren Johnson. Yeah, let's hear it is on Cova Sports TV.
I'm here with the head football coach of the Highland Springs Springers, Loren Johnson. His team pitched a shutout 28-0 here at Darling Stadium of the reigning 4-time state champion Phoebus Phantoms to move to 3-2 on the season. Coach, first team to shut out Phoebus in 4 years. First to do so on this service since Hampton did it back in 2016. You got to be proud of your effort, offense, defense, and special teams, but especially the defense tonight balling out for 4 quarters.
Yeah, defense did an extremely good job, but I say this all the time. Like Coach Simmons and the defensive staff, they do a phenomenal job. They prepare extremely hard. I mean, he is a detail-oriented guy. He's a math teacher, so I can't say any more about that. He just does everything that we ask him to do and more, and he always has the kids prepared. So I'm excited to have him on my staff always.
You've had some really good quarterbacks. You got one coach with you now, Coach DJ. You have a guy just a couple years ago, Christian Martin, goes to Maryland, Nelson Lane. And this guy that you've converted from wide receiver to quarterback, Antoine Buddy Richardson, very thoughtful young man, and he made some plays tonight. Coach, maybe his best play to go with his pick, his 3 rushing scores, his TD pass was the one they took away on a hurdle from a holding call. Yeah. I mean, he's impressive.
He is very, very good football player. He's what we call a throwback. He could have played with those teams and 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up, until now. He's a guy who's been around the program. He's a ball boy for us when he's really, really young. So he's been here and he understands what it is, and we're thankful for that.
You appreciate the legacy and history of high school football in the state, your programs, Phoebus, this entire, the whole big picture. And you were, I think, 11-0 to start in 7-5-7. You've had some tough battles the last couple of years with the Oscar Smiths, the Morris. Phoebus got you up there. To win tonight, I know their quarterback didn't play. This also shows that the Spurs haven't gone anywhere, have they?
No, we're not going anywhere. It's a different community and a different environment. So when you play at Highland Springs, I mean, you are at Highland Springs for a reason. Like you want to compete at a high level against the best competition in the state, and you want to win. You know what I mean? So for our guys to come out and play as well as they did today, it just shows that we're going to play football when we put the ball down, wherever the location is.
You know this better than anybody. The unsung unit is the offensive line, which allowed you to rush for 325 yards tonight. And the guy that is the workhorse for you is Eric Berg, 21 attempts for $192. He was hurt last year. He's not dinged up this season, is he?
No, he's not. And we got some guys behind him that run pretty well as well. But it's hard, when you got that guy that's been here doing it. He's getting an opportunity to come back. He's just showing people why he is who he is. And a lot of those people have taken away his scholarships, not calling him, not talking to him, but he wants to prove to everybody that he can be that back.
Sure, come on, let you run. How much is it also a great teaching thing when you can put on the television on a Sunday and you might see a Greg Dortch, a Kevon Wallace, and these wide receivers coming up, a guy like Jalen Padmore who makes a big play tonight, they can say, I want to go be that guy. Whether they end up being that guy or not, it's a good thing to strive for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And those guys, Greg did us a favor by coming back and talking to us. He did a camp with Makai and Kayvon. They kind of hosted that at our school, and they talked to the kids, asked the coaches to leave the room kind of type deal. So I'm not sure what they said, but they did, spark a fire into those guys, and it's showing up.
It doesn't hurt when the big fella Beckton can come back too and also show the lineman a couple things or two. Lastly, Coach, in this Class 5 picture, where are you guys? Because it feels like you've played a really tough schedule at this point. Huff from Carolina took him to the wire. Dinwiddie in overtime. South County and Hopewell aren't pushovers either. And then this game, plus there's more to come with the Varanas and so on and so forth before the postseason. What's kind of your gauge of this team right now?
Let's take it one game at a time. I mean, I don't know, right? I tell people all the time that 15, 16, 17-year-old boys, and anything can happen, right? You can make a dumb mistake in school, or, you could be in a car accident. We've had all those things happen before. So I like where we are. I think we've played some tough opponents that have kind of prepared us for games down the stretch, but we got to continue to play.
Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Coach Johnson Springers will be involved. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys.
Loren Johnson, what a job he has done at Highland Springs. Ed, now 183-35 overall with 5 state championships. And we talked about some of his former standouts in the NFL, like Greg Dortch for the Arizona Cardinals. That's right. Dortch is going to torch you for the Redbirds. BC, Red Sea, Bird Gang. You got Kevon Wallace, played with the Eagles and the Vikings. I think he's with the Vikings now. And then Makai Beckton with the LA Chargers offensive lineman. And it remains to be seen if he's got a guy on this team that's going to be in the pros one day. But one thing's for sure, they're going to be in the conversation in Class 5, and I want you to pick apart the rankings. Oh, there's the bottom part of the top 10. Going into this past week, it was Maury number 1, Green Run number 2, Stonebridge 3, Nansman River 4, Highland Springs 5 with 2 losses, Warwick 6, Patrick Henry Roanoke 7, Kings Fork 8, Riverbend 9, Hermitage 10. All right. Too high, too low, or just right for the Springers after this 28-0 drubbing of Phoebus. And if they were to win the region championship, 5C would likely see, I think, 5A in the state semi. So it could be a green run if they come out of their region. The other regions, if the favorites were to hold come playoff time, Morey's the favorite in 5B. We'll see if they get back. Stonebridge the favorite in 5D. Would be a neat Final Four there. We've seen that Final Four before. Your take?
I'm not going to mess with those rankings that you have. Had the Springers lost to Phoebus, and you would have still had them up there 5, 6, 7, I would have torched you.
Not like Greg Dortch torches people.
Yeah, that's why I use the word torch, because you used it with the torture. Yeah, I would have dropped Springs either 10 or out at 1 and 3, but th're not 1 and 3. They're 2 and 2, and they shut out Phoebus. As you said,
now
it's been a long time.
Now 3 and 2 because they've beaten South County and Hopewell. Yeah, this is before
3 and 2.
last week's games. Correct.
3 and 2. So I'm going to say they're okay where they're at. And Warwick, yes, I'm going to be okay with those standings. If you can is there any way you can widen it out a little bit more?
We can. I can let you see the top part of it.
Yeah, I don't want to
ads
see
popping up left and right, which is how our site now works, by the way.
Get these ads out of here because they don't support us. Okay, more. Yes.
Those were, again, last week's results. We haven't updated the results and records, folks, for people that are paying attention. Like, oh, my gosh, they're not 4-1 out of 5. Calm down. Right now, they're 4-1, 6-0, 5-1, 5-0, 3-2, 4-2. So just add each team to win. Yeah.
You have not had a chance to update them. I'm going to give you time. You're busy. You're doing games.
Well, we update the rankings early part of next week. We don't do it on Saturday after the games are played. So,
right, and people, you can pretty much, as long as the teams are winning, you pretty much know they're going to hold their position because it's hard to drop teams when they win, especially beat somebody good. So, calm down on the rankings.
But you could argue that the teams they lost to, Dinwiddie and Huff, maybe the only team on this top 6 that would beat those teams would be Morey, perhaps, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You when you play a really tough schedule, and you have a good team play a tough schedule, said this before, you're going to lose some because you're playing people as good or better than you. You're going to lose 1 or 2. It's rare you can just go right through everybody and be undefeated. Then you have a power squad. So that's something you have to consider. Because, I'm one in the past that said, get them off there. They're 2 and 2. Get them out of them rankings. But the 2 losses are against 2 very, very good teams. Mm-hmm. So you have to take that in consideration, even though I also say, well, yes, but you got a team that's 5-0 in honorable mention. Well, they're 5-0 because they haven't played that kind of a schedule. Well, they beat everybody that's on their schedule. So what can I say? But Springers, they're going to be there. If they're not winning a state title, you're going to have to beat them to win a state title. They're going to be there.
Fair enough. We've got more coming your way, including a deeper dive at another Class 5 school that had a nail-biting finish. We'll go through the beach, the Eastern, the Southeastern, and the other action from Friday night, including in the PD and Bay Rivers. It's all coming your way on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cove Sports TV, and we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here!
We've got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in a phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cove Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina. We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Like my skin is like you're making me uncomfortable. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
What is he now? 4-21 against top 10 opponents since he got to Penn State? James. It's like you, Ed, when you go to certain places, you make me uncomfortable. Like this right here. What on earth is this? Where were you? That's not comfortable. What is this? And you're making me, you're turning the thing. It's like I'm going to do a roller coaster. You're going to be sick.
I think I fell down. There's a young lady that approached me.
You're watching.
What's up?
She knows you. I said, what's up, man? He knows you. Oh, it's too funny.
My luck. I go out on the street, half naked women dancing, and one comes running up to me, calling my name out. Everybody turn around to look.
I'm guessing your lady friend. I'm guessing your lady friend was ready to hit you over the head with a shillelagh or 2x4.
Well, I was there with a female friend. Let's just leave it at
that.
that.
She was ready to hit you over the head with a 2x4.
No, she laughed. We're not like that, so she laughed. But if it would have been like if I would have been married, and all of a sudden here comes a half naked lady yelling my name, "What's up?" Grabs me, gives me a big hug, wearing very little. Then I got to explain stuff. I got some explaining to do.
Hey, by the way, I'm rocking the ODU mug today.
Looks good. Got some good OJ in there. Yes, sir. Got some OJ.
Water, not OJ. It should be this early in the morning, OJ. But trying to get a big one over to Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Speaking of being in Norfolk, ODU, and by the way, Battle of the Bay, Norfolk State and Hampton. Behold, we'll see if Michael Vick in the green and gold can get a much-needed victory. ODU's in Norfolk. Ed was in Norfolk. Let's fire up the scoreboard. Let's go to Norfolk with the Eastern District, shall we? There's a couple of scores that make you go, oh, my, oh, my. Sort of like when you see Ed over there on the road. Oh, my, oh, my.
Yeah, you're going to have to get ready for this one. This is not a partial basketball score. Maury, 91. That's a 9 with the 1. Booker T, 0. Did not find the end zone. 91-0.
Okay, let me ask you this question in all seriousness. Fact or fiction? An early edition of Fact or Fiction, by the way, with Matt Hatfield and the coach, Ed Young, here on Cova Sports TV. There it is, Fact or Fiction. Fact or fiction, Edward, Booker T. Washington has scored 91 points since the start of 2024. Is that a fact or fiction?
So we're saying Maury scored 91 on them last night.
Right.
And Booker T has scored 91 since last year.
I'm asking if they have scored that many. Fact or fiction?
Fact, they have not scored 91.
No, it's fiction. They scored 111 because they did put up 36 on Heritage, 20 on Lake Taylor, 24 last year on Manor. And by the way, all 20 of those points against Lake Taylor came in really garbage time. But this year alone, no, they've only scored 62. Rough times for the Bookers right now. Rough.
Playing a lot of youngsters, a lot of underclassmen, trying to put it back together.
Yeah.
But Maury, 91. And before people say, why they run it up?
And by the way, I misspoke. 32 on Manor last year, not 24. They scored 32 on Manor last year. Anyhow. Yeah, Maury's a machine.
Yeah, it's just they're a machine. And what are they supposed to do? Fall down every time they have the ball? You can't do that.
I think it was 77-0 at the break. What else happened in the Eastern District involving the Norfolk and Portsmouth schools? Because there's one I got on you.
You got the game you got on me was Granby and Manor.
Granby and Manor was a shutout, was it not?
10-0 Granby. So I picked Manor.
You did.
I thought of Granby. But that's not the story of the game. The story of the game is new head coach, or at least for that game he was, one of my old point guards from back in the day, Jonathan Wilson.
Yeah.
He's over the reins of the Granby Comets.
Temporary coach, not interim coach, but temporary. That's what gets me. You decided to pick Manor 28-21 in this game. I had 14-13 Granby, so I was close to being on the button there. How could you not pick your former player? What kind of a friend and former coach are you? Don't say you didn't know. You would have changed it. Don't do that. No. Don't do that.
When you put the predictions out or pick, Jonathan was not the coach.
So you would have picked him if he was the coach.
That's my guy. I'm picking if he's out there.
I'm not buying it for a second.
That's you. What are we doing? Buy or sell now too? Then we just did fact or fiction.
Yeah,
I would have bought that one. I would have picked Jonathan. That's my guy. Jonathan finds ways to get stuff done.
So you pick Jonathan against anybody. If they play Maury next week, you taking him.
Now hold on.
Hold on.
Love Jonathan, but I also got a little bit more of a brain. He ain't no way he beat Maury.
Okay. Does he make it 2 in a row with Booker T. Washington next week?
Yes.
The next week he's at Norfolk Academy. You going to call for a public over private victory? And by the way, got to give big ups to Benedictine. Did you see they beat Gonzaga of DC? That's a big win for them. Private school win. Richmond team. We don't talk a ton about the private school football side of things. That's a massive win for Benedictine. So kudos to the cadets. But you going to call for 3 in a row and they beat Norfolk Academy too?
I don't know if they're going to beat Norfolk Academy.
See, you paused there. You paused. You were with Jonathan for 2 weeks and you decided to get rid of him.
John, I'm rolling with you, John, but now every once in a while, you got to get off the horse.
Hey, freshman, by the name of Samaj Lyons, a really good player to watch out for Granby for the years to come. There is another score of note in the Eastern District, Edward. I know you want to get to it. The Titans, your good buddy, there's 2. I'm going to get the other one to a Churchill Norview. But the Titans of Lake Taylor were down at halftime against the IC Norcom Greyhounds over there in Norfolk. It wasn't looking too good for Hank and the gang. It was 20. In fact, it was it was a Norcom lead in this ball game, but in the second half, they outscored them 26-0 thanks to Keon Johnson's pick 6, and from there, Lake Taylor got the job done.
Got it done at the tune of 40-26, Lake Taylor over Norcom. So
26-14 at the break, yeah. Big win.
And then we finish up in the Eastern with Churchland's shutout of Norview, 21-0.
Keith Williams Jr. running the football well to balance out that passing in with Logan Wynn that's been humming all year long. So a bounce back for Churchland after the shellacking they took at the hands of Maury. That covers the Eastern District. Where are we steering to now? We've covered Norfolk and Portsmouth. Where are we going to now?
Let's jump back on the other side of the water, go to the Bay Rivers.
Bay Rivers District. No games on Thursday, and we had a disagreement. It involved the Panthers and the Dukes, and you took the Dukes. Put up your Dukes. You took an L, Sir Edward, an L.
Yeah, I had Smith.
No. We haven't got to that game yet. The Dukes is Gloucester.
You're right. I took Gloucester.
If you're going to coach in the Bay Rivers District this winter, you better know the nicknames.
Got to know these teams. You're right. I got to know these teams. Bruton 34-8 over Gloucester. I took the Dukes, took the Dukies, and did not come out at Bruton 30. I didn't see it. 34 points. That bad of a whooping. I didn't see it.
You should have paid attention to Bruton playing Jamestown more competitively last week, so you got that one wrong. You also got wrong your Packers. They didn't get it done against Tab. Oh, I was so tempted to take Tab in this one, but it was a rough night for the Packers against Tab, who got themselves an important win to help their playoff chances.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I felt good about Smithfield getting this one. losing the game to who was the last? Who did they play last?
New Kent. No.
New Kent. You're right. New Kent. And missed that kick at the crossbar. Could have won it for them. And now they lose 2-tap. I'm going to have to be careful because I picked Smithfield the last 2 weeks. Am I bringing bad mojo to the Smithfield Packers? You
might be. You might be. And, it's kind of the old – I think Tab ran the football very well. Sort of what Hank likes to say, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And Tab under their veteran coach John Byron doing that really well here as they get themselves a nice win. Remember, they were 2-0. Lost back-to-back to Pocosin and New Kent. Now they've won back-to-back before they take on York in a rivalry game. So they get that one. They get Gloucester and Warhill after the bye. They could be really, rolling before they show down with Lafayette into the year. And Lafayette got themselves back in the winner's circle, didn't they?
Absolutely. After losing to Pocosin, they came back hard against Grafton, 49-7. And Pocosin kept it rolling, 66-10 over Jamestown. And to follow up on the last game, we had New Kent 40-6 over Blue Smoke of York.
More impressed by Pocosin firing up 66 on the board against Jamestown or New Kent's third straight win beating York as soundly as they did, given that the history of that series here lately with New Kent and York had been some pretty close games. In fact, the last 11 games, 6-5 was York's record, but 6 of those meetings decided by 7 points or less. New Kent with a win by a bigger margin.
Yeah, I picked New Kent, but I was tempted to take York, and I think I made it a close game. That was not a close game. So that win is impressive by New Kent. Maybe that win over Smithfield has gotten them going, and they're going to be putting some points up on the board.
And your margin was margin, by the way, was 26-20 for New Kent. I had 20-18, but Nathaniel Christian at quarterback doing a nice job for New Kent. And going on Pocosin, go ahead.
But Pocosin 66, it's a lot of points, but Jamestown's not that type of team that it's going to hold you down. And Pocosin, again, big win off of Lafayette. I thought maybe some residual, feeling too good about themselves. Not in that game. 66-10 over Jamestown. No issue with them there.
Let's touch on the Peninsula District and the extras, Western Tidewater / Northern Neck / schools before we come back and do the beach and the Southeastern, sir.
Well, we go to the Peninsula. We already did the Thursday night games. You're looking at really 3 blowouts with a game to come today. Warwick beats Medgefield 39-0. Bethel 68-0 over Heritage. And that's against Thursday. Woodside plays Kickingham today at noon.
Yeah, and we both have Woodside taking that one. But Bethel with Amari Pryor, he's over 1,000 yards rushing now with ease. Player of the year candidate for sure. Running the football. And Warwick looking really strong on that front. I'm curious to see, though, on Bethel. They had their litmus test with Warwick here recently, lost at 35-13. They've now won 3 in a row. They take on Phoebus coming up on Thursday night, I believe it is scheduled for. Coming up next week, put it that way. So Phoebus trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss before they play Hampton. This is an important game for both sides. Phoebus wants to get back on track. And you talk about stopping a run. Now you're facing the area's top rusher, Amari Pryor. You talk about storyline. You got it in that game, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, if everybody else is running lately on Phoebus, though, they're 2 really good teams. What can Bethel do? It's going to be interesting. Phoebus really got to get back on track. 2 losses, they really got to get on. Got shut out with Highland Springs. Yes, 2 good teams, Warwick, Highland Springs, yes. But I think they're going to try to make a statement. Just guessing. They're going to try to make a statement against Bethel. How strong can Bethel answer that call is going to be the question.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It is a homecoming game for Phoebus, 7 o'clock Thursday night at Darling Stadium. So a lot of intrigue to that one. All right. Anything else on the score docket before we take a break you want to hit on there? A couple of private schools. I see Hampton Roads Academy beat Isle of Wight by 6, 20-14. Nansman Suffolk all over Catholic 42-6. And Chincoteague rolled past Greenbrier Christian 46-25. I think the big one in the state, though, like we mentioned, early in the season, St. Christopher's beating Huguenot opening of the season, but Benedictine beating Gonzaga is a big deal, I think, statewide, to where they have to be considered public or private, one of the, definitely 5 to 10 best teams in the state with that type of win, given that Gonzaga shut out Oscar Smith to start the year.
Yeah, I would say I concur with those. I don't see any upsets there, really.
Wait. Keith, Southampton falls to Sussex Central in overtime, 34-28.
Ooh, what about the Windsor Dukes? Do we have anything on Windsor Dukes?
13-7 over Brunswick. Greensville a winner over Surrey, 36-0. Northampton beats Middlesex 43-24. Arcadia a winner over Lancaster, 37-19. Washington of Maryland beats Nandua 36-7. Northside over Rappahannock 18-7. That's a game that's interesting because Northside's Class 3. This is a recently added game on the schedule. Rappahannock falls. So Rappahannock will have one blemish before they play Essex in a couple weeks. Essex got a forfeit win over Charles City, and we have Essex number 1 in the state in Class 1. Rappahannock number 3. Sandwiched in between them is Eastside, who's number 2, and they play host to Rye Cove next week in Coburn. Rye Cove is number 4, so you get some big showdowns, 1 versus 3, 2 versus 4 in our state rankings on virginiapreps.com in Class 1. And King William over John Marshall, big, 62-14. That obviously was not basketball. It was football. So there you have it. Another timeout. We'll come back with the Southeastern District scores and what happened on Dahlia Drive between the Stallions and the Sun Devils. It was a barn burner in Virginia Beach. It's all coming your way on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. You're watching 757 Saturday Sports Talk.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis. But if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7 right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship. And that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
You like that horse there in the background? Whatever it was, I can't even do the horse sound. Where now you drive, Green Run, and Salem. That was the go-ahead touchdown, the celebration for all the fans at Elijah Cadillac Harris Stadium. We'll get to the beach scoreboard in a moment, Edward, but let's tackle the Southeastern results first and foremost before we do get to Coach Brandon Williams and his standout running back Charles Jackson, the Old Dominion Monarchs commit. Yeah, I got the ODU mug for all you out there. Let's fire it back up, Ed. Southeastern scores. Oscar Smith, you got the blemish early to Gonzaga. We mentioned that, but they're coming off a couple of nice wins over Indian River on a Saturday, Kings Fork last Friday, and Hickory's Hawks. We're not destined to knock them off for the first time since 2006.
No, the Southeastern District really stuck to the script as the favorites won out. Most of them fairly easy. Smith 50-7 over Hickory. Nansemond River 42-0 over Great Bridge. Indian River 40-7 over Western Branch. I thought it would be a little closer. Kings Fork all over Grassfield 62-13. And Deep Creek knocks off Lakeland 31-10.
I guess the game of note of that group was Indian River. You know, they haven't been really in our focus a whole lot here. That freshman quarterback, Loren Malik Haru, got a great lineman up front in Corey Centerland, who actually had a touchdown this game. Trey Pugh runs for over 100 yards. Jason Preston's making plays at both wide receiver and defensive back. But Indian River is sitting there, and they have some key games coming up in the district, Ed. They've got Nansemond River coming up on Friday. That's a big game in Chesapeake for both of those squads. Then Deep Creek is showing some improvement under Coach Andre Twine. Mike Jones is having a heck of a year. There's so many good Mike Joneses everywhere. Not just the one coaching ODU men's basketball, who we love. But Mike Jones running and catching the ball for Deep Creek's got about 1,000 all-purpose yards already this year. And then Indian River still has to play Kings Fork on Halloween. So there are some games that we'll find out more about the Braves, but I was encouraged by their second half effort against Oscar Smith to chop down what was a big deficit and make it a 2-score game. Had a chance to make even a 1-score game. And I feel like with that freshman quarterback, he's no longer, kind of that neophyte baby, if you will. He's starting to come of age, and I think some of the nerves and jitters will be out when they get to the playoffs because of having those district tests.
Agree. I kind of think Indian River is just a little bit flying under the radar, just a bit, as good as they are. Mm-hmm. Oscar Smith and Kings Fork, and of course now Nansemond River get a lot of the pub in that district. But as you said, Indian River's got to play them. Along with Deep Creek, who's finally getting out of the starting blocks fairly smooth. It's going to be interesting for Indian River to make some headway going down this towards we're in the middle of the season. So now we're going to start getting around that turn because we're at 5 games and 10 is what you play. So we're right in the middle of the season.
Now, the Beach District, Ed, this is what's interesting to me. We'll get to that Green Run Salem game in just a second. But if you look at the Beach in totality, you have 5 games. Bayside was idle this week, but the 5 games with Green Run Salem, Cox Ocean Lakes, First Colonial Princess Anne, Kempsville, Lansdowne, and Kellam Tallwood. Of those 5, 3 decided by 7 points or less. So outside of Kempsville's comfortable win over Lansdowne and Kellam's rout of Tallwood, they were pretty tight ball games.
Right, yeah, Kempsville knocking off Lansdowne 41-12, Kellam 38-14. I picked Kellam, but I went back and forth. I thought Tallwood had a great shot, and I think I made it a close pick, and it really wasn't.
Real quick, great highlight in that game, double pass. I know you love this. Brian Neitz was a guest a couple weeks ago. You couldn't be there for the conversation, but Aaron Smith, their Senate wide receiver, they did the double pass, which I know you love, executed it to perfection, got a big chunk play out of it, and Kellam able to pull away from Tallwood. But that was they're going in the bag of tricks. Kellam's on for that ground and pound wing tee. They've opened it up this year with about 3 times as many passing yards as rushing yards, which is incredible.
That's good. I wish I could have seen that pass. I would like to take credit for it, but I was not in on the interview, so I can't. Other games, First Colonial 20-13 over Princess Anne, Cox 14-10 over Ocean Lakes.
And that game was tight to the wire. Ocean Lakes was driving, but it was a big play made by, I think, Jawan Mack, who had the go-ahead touchdown. Ocean Lakes, in fact, led this one 10-7 going into the fourth quarter. Dolphins throw for 209 yards on the Falcons, but 4 turnovers do them in. Ocean Lakes, which has got a freshman quarterback in Kai English there, and Cox able to pull it away thanks to the hard running of Tyree Jeffries, as he has a big night running the football, over 100 on the ground for Tyler Noe's Falcons, who get themselves a win. I think Cox is flying on the radar. Princess Anne's losing streak, unfortunately, keeps extending for them, as they now have dropped in terms of total games in a row here, going back to 2021. It is now sitting at, I believe it is 43 consecutive. Haven't won a game since they beat FC back in 2021. Got up 20 points at FC, and they held on against PA. But speaking of streaks, streak is still going for Green Run in the Beach District, Ed.
Now, this game was intriguing. It's Green Run wins it 35-28. If I'm not mistaken, at halftime, it was 14-7 Salem. And Salem had a lead, which surprised me. You sent me some stats. 15 yards total with a 14-7 halftime lead. And it looks like the second half was a whole different ballgame.
Third quarter was zany. I mean, it was bonkers. In fact, I believe you had 5 touchdowns in the third quarter total. Salem got up 21-7. They actually were able to extend that lead to 28-14 when Green Run chopped it back down to 7 again. Jason Harden had a heck of a second half for Salem. He only ran for 9 yards in the first half, finished up with 117 yards. I think he had about 106 of those in the third quarter alone. But Green Run answered the call. And one of the guys answering the call for them was the running back, who's headed to Old Dominion to play for the Monarchs. That's right. Charles Jackson coming to play for you, Ricky Ronnie. Would you like to hear what Action Jackson told us?
Let's do that. Let's see what Mr. Jackson had to say.
It's Cova Sports TV and 757 Saturday Sports Talk.
All right, I'm here with Green Run running back and Old Dominion commit Charles Jackson after his team's a thrilling win 35-28 over Salem as they keep their Beach District winning streak going. Charles, how did it feel to win this one tonight? The way you guys did, battling back from 14. You were down 10 last week against Kempsville. Something about the resilient Stallions this year, huh?
Yes, sir. It felt great because, we all brothers and we all do it in practice. And we just, we bend, but we don't break. And we stayed as a team. We had to trust in God.
How tough was it running against that Salem defense, especially with number 12 out there, Marcus McCoy, making tackle after tackle? He's hunting you down every play, but you're able to make some plays against him, too, in that defense.
Yeah, most definitely. He's a dog, and he's a great player, great sportsmanship. Yeah, and we just had to, do what we can to, get to the first down and get to the end zone.
How different was this comeback from last week? You guys have been here before, down 10 last week on the road against Kempsville in the third quarter. But tonight, Salem hit you with some big plays, but you guys didn't hang your heads and you kept fighting back. Did you learn something from last week? Did it help you tonight? Or?
Yes, sir. It most definitely. The difference is, this game, we just, kept our head down. We had to, put the energy back up. Last game, we stayed in the game. We kept the same energy, and we got the win.
Certainly you and Pitbull, Tristan Williams, are kind of a 1-2 punch, thunder and lightning for that backfield. Did you know that last series? Did you go to Coach Williams, Coach Payton, the OC, and say, hey, call my number, I'm going to take us home? What was kind of your thought?
Me and him is, best running backs in the city, best running back in the state. And that's my brother, and, whatever coach wants us to do, we'll do it.
You're committed to Old Dominion. Let's talk about that for a second. Big win for the Monarchs last week. They're possibly going to crack the top 25. How excited are you to play for Coach Ronnie and the Monarchs, Coach Lucas, and that whole crew?
It feels great. They show big love to my family, and I'm just excited to be a Monarch. I just can't wait to get to campus and to work.
What was it about Old Dominion over other schools that recruited you? Because I'm sure more schools will recruit you until signing day, but what was it about Old Dominion?
Yeah, so Old Dominion, the amount of love they show to my family, we talk almost every day, and, I just love how the coach, he stayed loyal, even though if bad times, go bad, he stayed by my side, and that's what I like.
Sure, that trust and dedication, no doubt about it. Last two for you, Charles, or last three, I should say. Tell me about running backs. I'm sure you watch them on college and the pros and TV. Who are the backs you kind of try to study and try to emulate on your field out there when you play?
So I kind of got I got 2 running backs that I study. I study Jeremiah Love and I study Quinshon Judkins.
All right, not a bad combination there.
Yes, sir.
What is it like about those 2 guys?
They're dogs. They beasts. They're the only people I look up to.
Sure. Third and goal. It's the play to win the game here to avoid fourth down. What'd you see on that play and kind of what take me through it if you can?
The
touchdown.
Oh yeah, I had to trust in my brother. I just knew I had to get in there somehow and get the win.
There you go. And lastly, to win this game, you keep the streak going. What do you take from this moving forward? I know you guys have bigger goals beyond the beach, even to this year with regionally and statewide.
Yeah, this is just a lesson game. Just keep your head up. Don't look at transitions of losing, because we're gonna stay in the game and just trust in God.
Watch out for him. He's a Stallion for now. Monarch down the road. Charles Jackson Jr. gets the win thanks to his game-winning TD. Congrats.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
26 rushes for 92 yards and a touchdown, and he had 78 of those yards after halftime. He was bottled up early. And Marcus McCoy, I have to give him another. By the way, I thought for a brief moment it was going to be the second time in about 3 weeks that a Hatfield was going to have to interview a McCoy. Because remember, it was the kicker for Maury, Charlie McCoy, with a linebacker, Marcus McCoy, no relation to Charlie, by the way. They're not brothers or cousins. For Salem, listen to this. He had 19 total tackles from the linebacker position. These aren't inflated tackles. I keep him on the spreadsheet while the game happens. 19 total tackles, 9 of which were solo. He had 5.5 or 5 of them for loss, and he had 2.5 sacks plus a forced fumble. He was the best player on the field, even though Jackson could make a case he was right there with him as one of the best players running the ball for Green Run. But impressive young man. You can tell he's got the leadership qualities for Brandon Williams and company.
Yeah, I would say Mr. Jackson handled himself well, not only in the interview, but obviously on the field. And the McCoy kid, the stat you just gave, for a lot of kids, that's a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's one game. 9 solo tackles. He didn't need much help. Would you say headhunter on defense? I think so. He knows where the ball is. Plus, he's in the backfield more than the running backs are. So, big one for McCoy. I would love to see a Hatfield McCoy another interview, because this time y'all don't have to complain over the stolen pig, which originated the Hatfield McCoy.
Yeah, this is true.
The Hatfield stole McCoy pig. That's what happened.
Wait. Is that your version of the story, or do you want to hear our version of the story?
I'm just reading the version of what's truth. Go read it. It's what happened.
Okay.
Yep. Ulysses Hatfield went into a McCoy territory and took a pig, which started the feud. So,
Us Hatfields like to tell it differently, but anyhow.
Well, you should, because you don't want to take ownership for your mistakes, which you, to this day, you still don't.
How is that my fault? I wasn't around then.
Well, you're a Hatfield. You got to claim them.
Okay. Well, anyhow, Brandon Williams is the head football coach of the Stallions. Would you like to hear his story from what happened on Friday?
Let's hear the Lou Rawls, and you'll see why I say the Lou Rawls of high school.
Rawls!
Yes.
Wow. I hope he's watching this and can comment or interact with you, or, later on in future weeks as you get closer to basketball season, have something to say.
As I said, listen to his voice in the interview, and you'll see why I call him the Lou Rawls of high school coaches.
I'm going to do the Shaq. Remember the Shaq from Inside the NBA? You'll never find my hairline like mine. Anyways, here is not Lou Rawls, but Brandon Williams on Cova Sports TV. 35-28 over
48 consecutive Beach District regular season wins and counting for Brandon Williams and his Green Run Stallions, who win it tonight in a thriller at 35-28, coming from behind to beat the Salem Sun Devils. More importantly, Coach, you're 6-0 overall to go with now the 56 consecutive wins against Virginia Beach schools. And what is it about the comeback kids you all are now? You had to rally back from 10 points down against Kempsville last week on the road, and tonight 14-point deficit on 2 occasions, but you get the job done.
Well, like people say, you don't never know how good of a team you are when you're down until you're down. And so these last 2 weeks we've been down, and we fought back and showed some resiliency and some grit. I'm proud of these kids, man. They're doing everything we asked them right now.
Well, this was not a game for the weary, because I know Salem's got a couple guys dinged up, backup quarterback. You got a bunch of guys that are hurt, played through injuries like Cam Johnson, your Virginia Tech committed defensive end, Tristan Pitbull Williams, your running back. But the perseverance from this group, it felt like if you tied it up, what you got from a sophomore, Chadley Cross on a punt return, that you wouldn't lose it if you caught him coming from behind. Did you feel that too?
Yeah. The crazy thing is, I literally was talking to one of my coaches this week and said, we call him CJ Chadney. Mm-hmm. His coming out part is coming, and lo and behold, it's here tonight. And I'm so proud of that kid. He comes to work every day. He's actually, he's banged up a little bit too, but you can't tell when he got that ball in his hand. So proud of him, and like I said, he made a big play and got us back in the game. And from that, and we just pinned our ears back and came after him after that.
Yeah, the hidden yardage statistically, it might not be shown from what he brought. It's also Devin Miller on a big punt return that got you on the other side of the 50 from them late. Did it feel at all discouraging at halftime? Your defense had done everything you wanted. You held them to like 15 yards and you were down 14-7. They got a defensive score, a partial block punt. But you guys had been there before, knew how to come back, didn't you?
Yeah, we know when our back's against the wall how to bend but don't break. And like I said, defensively, we take pride in our defense on our defensive unit. And we knew we got a couple of stops our offense was going to eventually get going and put some points on the board, and that's exactly what happened.
Tell me about your defense tonight. You had a bunch of different guys. I know you call them A-gap number, I think it's 0. DeJohn Smith made a bunch of plays for you. You have Corvin Watson, who's been a newcomer this year for you, making a lot of plays off the edge. It felt like if you could make them one-dimensional, that could play into your hands a little bit?
No question. We knew that they're a very physical team. They're well coached with Mark Hall, one of my former coaches. But we know that they were going to try to run the ball at us and try to get us out of our game plan. But we stayed solid and got after it on the line of scrimmage, and we made some plays on that side of the ball.
When you win a game like this, and there's still some things to correct, certainly on the line of scrimmage, getting guys healthy, the penalties, which has been a bugaboo lately. How's the feeling? Is it kind of a half glass, half full, half empty type of situation? What's your
like I said, we know we have something to get better on each and every week. So like I said, we got to clean up the penalties. We got to clean up, the missed blocks and the little things that's keeping us, just killing drives or whatnot, if you call them so say. So that we stay together and keep doing what we're doing and continue to run the ball and take care of business. We can't sleep now because we got two very great opponent next week in Lansdowne, and we got to come back here for homecoming. So. Sure. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, always a rivalry, which goes on to other sports too with basketball. There, the last two let you run. Charles Jackson had the game-winning touchdown tonight. I know his numbers weren't the glossiest, but what a great kid. He's committed to Old Dominion, and I know you have to be proud of what he's done and being just a team leader for you this year too. Yeah,
he's our senior captain. Like I said, our offense runs through him, and he loves the pressure, and he loves to all right, when I come to him CJ, we need to play, and he says, I cut you, coach, and that's the type of playmaker you want on your offense, and he's that guy.
Lastly, you're 6-0. The streak keeps going, and it's been a year where streaks have been ending, like Phoebus is here recently, so you don't fall victim to that here. What's kind of your gauge of this football team, and are you still kind of forming the identity? You know what you guys are capable of, but there's still some things you can grow and improve on, right?
No question. We still, like I said, it's still mid-season. There's a lot of things we can improve on. Like I said, we got to win. It was ugly, but win is a win, and we're going to build on that and continue and get better for next week.
We'll go enjoy it with some ice cream and cake and all the different things. They have better cupcakes too, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Amen.
They did have cupcakes, by the way, in the hallway, in case you were wondering. Did I get me one? No, I didn't, because I let everybody else have theirs. I don't do the Ed Young thing where you would have just knocked people over. You would have, sent old ladies into the wall and made sure you got yourself a cupcake.
No, now if it was some chicken, pizza, cupcake, donuts, no.
Anyhow, that was Green Run coach Brandon Williams.
And you heard why I say he's the Lou Rawls of the 757 coaches.
Okay.
That voice.
We'll see. But we bring him on. We'll have to play that in the background, I guess.
You can see if him sing, get a video.
You want him to do a clip where he's singing Lou Rawls like I did at the start of the show when we did the – yeah, okay. They're now winners of, as we mentioned, 48 straight in the Beach regular season, 56 total over Beach opponents. They've got – here's the remaining slate, Ed. They play Lansdowne coming up, who's lost back-to-back to Bayside and Kempsville. They host Bayside October 17th, host First Colonial, bye week on Halloween at Ocean Lakes. I don't see them tripping up, but that Bayside game's getting a little more intrigue to it, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing about Green Run this year is in the big games, winning, coming from behind, winning and winning somewhat close. Excuse me. In the past, we're talking about winning games 35-0, 40-0. That's not the type of team he has this year. It looks like a team that gets down and then keeps their helmets on the right way and comes back and takes a win. I don't see them losing, and Bayside game will be intriguing, especially Bayside coming there, route up, and performs. The key is you can be hype all you want, you still got to perform against good teams.
Well, what we've seen from – this is why I'd give Green Run the edge, not only but decisive. In years past, it's been decisive. But we've seen Salem and Kempsville put together segments of a game. I'm not sure Bayside's defensive metrics, their numbers are telling us that they can slow down Green Run. Bayside's putting up 39.2 points per game. That's almost 40 a contest. They're giving up just over 20 a game, and they had trouble stopping Salem, Kempsville, and Lansdowne. So, good luck stopping Charles Jackson and the Green Run running game. The Green Run passing game has not been as crisp. The new quarterback, Luke Ashcraft, has made some nice throws, and they have some receivers like Xavier Cleveland, who you've seen from basketball, the Lansdowne transfer. Xavier Clark did not, I don't think, suit up in this game. Rashawn Savage, Devin Miller, the sophomore, and Chadney Cross make plays. But they're not as explosive at the air attack, which is something we were saying earlier about Morey in the start of the season. So they're going to have them going about it in a different way. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, if your offense is able to produce and not turn it over, that's all that really matters. And you get more, as you like to say, get more points than the other guys and keep your helmet on the right way. That's what it boils down to at the end. So we shall see when it all settles and if Green Run is the number 1 seed like we expect them to be in Region 5A, where they could get a test, like we said, from Indian River as well, and they might run into Kempsville or Salem again come region semis or region finals. Who knows when November arrives. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We've got more coming your way, including a segment on college football, plus the NFL picks around the corner. You're watching 757 Sports Talk. And where are you watching it, Edward?
Right here on Cova Sports TV.
Stay tuned.
I know some of you are wondering, is this pool safe for diving? Well, it depends.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach, Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and your view, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey folks, we're back with joke time. Why can't you hear a psychiatrist using the bathroom? Because the P is silent. Just don't pee in here, okay?
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Back here with the Coach Ed Young, I am Matt Hatfield. Oh, you're biting your lip? What are you biting your lip about?
Well, I got to put a public service announcement out. That last pool in the pool, I had absolutely zero to do with it. I don't use that kind of language. I use the proper term like urinate. So I just want everybody to know that I had nothing to do with that.
Okay. Fair enough. Are you ready to play buy or sell, though, college football style?
Let's do it. I got a few pesos. I might be able to give them up.
A few pesos. Okay, let's do the first one here. Buy or sell. The Heisman Trophy will go to a quarterback from the Big Ten or SEC? Are you buying that or selling it? And by the way, in case you're wondering about the latest odds entering week number 6 in college football, Oregon's Dante Moore is the favorite at plus 600, followed by Alabama triggerman Ty Simpson at plus 950. Then it's a quarterback outside the SEC or Big Ten in Carson Beck of Miami. Big matchup for the Canes against Florida State. Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith of Ohio State plus 1,000. Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss. Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. Julian Sayin of Ohio State. I'm just saying. Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt, who takes on Alabama in a big matchup in Tuscaloosa. Joey Aguilar of Tennessee. Marcel Root of Texas A&M. All at plus 2,000 or less. 9 of the 10, Ed, are SEC or Big Ten quarterbacks. And I didn't see Arch Manning of Texas on that list, nor did I see Cade Klubnik, Phil Steele's pick from Clemson. So are you buying or selling this? I'll tell you this. I think the best college football player, bar none, though, is that Buckeyes wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith. He's that dude.
I think we're coming into the season. People talked a lot about Arch Manning, who did not have a good debut, and I think he's off the list. Smith is still up there, but I'm buying that. I'm on the bandwagon for the Oregon quarterback. I think if they keep winning, that win over Penn State was big. They keep winning. I think he's there. Alabama quarterback, possibly. The thing I think is going to hurt Smith is the quarterback for Ohio State and him. Pulling votes, so to speak, both ways.
I don't think so. I think they're the best team and he's the best player. And if he balls out and they go beat that rival at the end of the year that starts with an M and ends with an N, and he has a monster game with 8 catches for $190 and 2 touchdowns, and these quarterbacks kind of cancel each other out with a loss here, loss there, he's the guy at that point.
Yeah, I think coming into the season, I think he would have been the odds-on favorite. He hasn't done anything to diminish that. But what's ironic when you say, as a wide receiver, who's more important, the quarterback getting the ball to the receiver or the receiver catching and getting yards after catch? Because if the quarterback don't throw to the receiver, we never hear about him. So it'd be interesting to see how that works. That's what I'm saying. I think they could end up pulling votes from each other.
Okay. But you're going to buy this.
I'll buy it. I think it will happen.
It's probably a safe thing to say you buy this, so I'm probably going to buy it as well. I haven't landed on a quarterback just yet. I'm not all in on the Oregon quarterback just yet. I'll tell you who I like a lot is Mendoza from Indiana. I'm just not sure they're going to win enough games, and who I'm all in on. And I don't trust Carson Beck in Miami. I'm sorry. I don't trust him. Don't trust him. A top 10 team will fall this weekend in college football. Are you buying this or are you selling this? And again, just to look at it from in terms of who in the top 25 is in action, well, you do have Alabama, who's 10th, taking on Vandy. Penn State's at UCLA, who's winless. Don't see it. Number 9, Texas at Florida, 3-1 at 1-3. We know the Gators are dangerous with their quarterback in one, DJ Lagway, though he has 5 touchdowns and 6 intercepts. Can they get the running game going? Can the defense step up? Just a 5.5-point favorite of the Longhorns in that one. Oklahoma should breeze by Kent State, even with the quarterback injury to their guy who's been playing great, Mr. Mateer. He's out for a while, John Mateer. Golden Flashes don't have enough to win that game. And Miami at Florida State, Mississippi State at Texas A&M. So the 2 ones to watch out for, Texas falling potentially to Florida, and does Miami get knocked off by the Noles? Wide right, wide left? Is it wide at all? It does come down to a kick like it has so many times in that rivalry series.
For some reason, I'm feeling Florida over Texas.
Are you?
Of those 2, Florida over Texas more so than Florida State knocking off Miami. I don't think either happens. I think there'll be close games. Don't think either happens, but if you say I have to pick one of the 2 for an upset, I would probably, even though they're only 1-3, I'd probably go Florida at home against Texas.
I didn't say you have to. Are you buying it or are you selling it? It is your option. I'm not making you do anything.
I will sell it. You will
sell it. Okay. I will buy this only because I think if it comes down to which quarterback makes the plays, Tommy Castellanos or Carson Beck, I think Florida State will do it. Their offense has been lethal. I don't know that I trust Miami with Mario Cristobal here late in the game. They have the better running attack, in my opinion. But I'm gonna lean with that one taking place. But if it doesn't happen there, like you just said, Florida could knock off the Longhorns. I have a second one in the hopper potentially, so I will buy this. Third one on the docket, and you're going to say, I want to see the schedule, man. I want to see the schedule. Old Dominion will attend football games this year. Are you buying that or selling it? Well, before we even get to that, look at the chances to make the playoff according to the ESPN FPI, Edward. Yeah, Ohio State's 1, Oregon's 2, but then when you get to that second column, you have the Monarchs ahead of Iowa State and Illinois and Florida State, and yes, Notre Dame at 11.8%. ODU at 15.4% to Notre Dame's 11.8%. Oh, this has got to have you just irate and ready to punch a wall, break your hand again.
I'm happy. I don't want to say anything discouraging towards Old Dominion. I'm a fan.
Okay.
But, and I can see why they're saying this based on, Notre Dame's an independent. They lost a couple games. It's almost like they got to go nuts the rest of the year, 50 points a game, blow out people because they're not in the conference. All Old Dominion has to do is win their conference. They have a great shot of getting in, but even that's going to be tough. But so I'm not going to disparage them. Now, will they win 10 games? When I looked at the schedule,
JMU is at 3.7% to ODU's 15.4%.
Yeah,
so that makes people in JMU land like my dad upset.
I'm going to make your dad feel good. I think JMU in Harrisonburg beats Old Dominion, so that's a loss.
Well, the Monarchs are 3-1. Here you go. Coastal Carolina, they're favored by more than 2 touchdowns. I think that's a win. 4-1, right?
Yeah.
All right. At Marshall, what do you think in Huntington?
Marshall's been a big problem for them in the past. Just think this is the year they can get them, but it isn't. It is in Huntington. I'm gonna go Old Dominion in a close one.
Okay, so you go with the Monarchs in that one. You then have after that game at James Madison, who will more than likely be favored in that matchup against the Monarchs in Harrisonburg, October the 18th.
Yeah, I'm going Madison.
Okay. Then you have, as we pull the schedule down, homecoming against App State. Now, currently, App State right now is 2-2.
Yeah, and we remember back in the day, App State was one of them giant killers a long time ago to beat Michigan. Would be a problem. I would say if it was at App State. It's homecoming. Old Dominion got to feel good. Give them a win.
At UL Monroe, who is currently 3-1.
And I'm going to say win, but this could be, if they come in here through 3-4 game winning streak, I say they knock off JMU and they're really riding high, this could be the game that bites them.
Okay, Troy is 2-2 right now, and they have lost to Clemson by 11, Memphis by 21. Remember, they're leading the Clemson game, and that's a home Thursday night game for the Monarchs.
Yeah, rare Thursday night game. Let's go ODU for the win.
All right, and then you got 2 more against the Georgia schools in Statesboro against Georgia Southern and at home against Georgia State. They are 2-3 and 1-3 respectively. Those W's?
On paper, yes, but you got to play on the field. I would like to think they're going to win 10, but something tells me to stop at 9. Well, wait a minute.
Wait, you just said 10-2. You got them doing it.
Yeah, I said 10-2.
Go ahead and buy it. You got coins in your pocket. It's the only loss you gave them.
Yeah, the only loss I gave is JMU. Then we got to see when they get in the bowl. We got to forget. Don't forget now they get a win in the bowl. So they can win 9 games regular season, win a bowl game. There's their 10.
There you go.
I'm going to buy it.
He's going to buy it, ladies and gents. He is all in. Rain on for the Monarchs. Well, and I do think, by the way, if you're Irish to play him, Chris Trinidad will sack the stuff inside of your quarterback, Mr. Carr, and get everybody to block him. But I'm going to regrettably sell this, only because that stretch you had coming up, I'm not going to count the bowl and cheat like you did. I'm going to say they go 9-3, but that still could be enough to get themselves in the Sun Belt title game. Then they got to knock off James Madison. I think the fan would trade beating Madison for a loss against somebody else. As crazy as that sounds, that's how much that game means to them. But one of these 3 here, the App State, ULM, Troy game, if they get through that 3-game stretch, Ricky Ronnie should get Coach of the Year hands down, and it is quite the story. But I just think they get tripped up in one of those 3. more than likely either the Troy or ULM game. It could be the one sandwiched in the middle. So I'll go 9-3. Love to see him do it, and it would be neat for the 757 to have Old Dominion.
Well, let me stop you.
Okay.
9-3 regular season, so you don't want to touch the bowl. You're not picking winner.
I'm not going to cheat like you. I'm saying if
that's
we
not cheating. You said win 10 games. You didn't say regular season.
Well, I didn't say it. The screen said it. You didn't say it. So.
Well, who made the question?
I don't know who they're playing. I don't know who they're playing in the bowl game. They could be in the conference championship. The bowl game, they could be playing.
Notre Dame.
And then I would pick them, but I don't know who they're playing, and I don't know what bowl game they're in yet. So I can't, I can't give them that W. Is what I'm trying to say. You're on the other hand just trying to take the cop out answer and do it. But you had them going 10-2, so you should have stuck to your guns from the jump. We got two more here while we argue about that. Either 4-0 Maryland loses at home to 3-1 Washington, or 4-0 Louisville loses at home to 4-1 Virginia. So two of the surprising unbeatens right now, the Terps and the Cardinals, both at home, taking on 3-1 Washington, taking on 4-1 Virginia. Will either one of these lose? Are you buying it or are you selling it?
Buying it because right now I'm going out on the limbs, or at least a branch. Washington beats.
Might break that branch.
Washington beats Maryland.
Really?
Virginia does not beat Louisville.
Washington is actually favored at Maryland. So
I'm going to go Washington beat Maryland.
It's a good
Maryland
call
out of the
by you.
Yep.
It's a good call by you potentially. I worry about if Maryland has a guy to take Denzel Boston away, the wide receiver who's been playing pretty well. Didn't have a good game against Ohio State, but he really torched Washington State the game before. I'm going to sell this. I think Louisville beats Virginia, and I think Maryland protects the home to get to 5-0, which is a really big deal for them. I think Washington making that cross the country trip, it's not easy. I don't know that I'm all in on the Washington offense. I think their defense to hold Ohio State to just 24 was actually fairly respectable. Game was at home, but I'm going to sell this one. I'm not all in on. I'm surprised that they were favored against Maryland. I'm gonna sell it. And our last one, Florida State, 53 points per game right now. Tops in America, will finish in the top 5 in the nation in scoring offense. Are you going to buy that or sell that?
Sir, may I be able to see the rest of their schedule?
Sir, I'll read it to you. I don't know if I can show it to you. Actually, I could show it to you. I'm going to show it to you since I'm a nice guy and I'm in a good mood today, too. I thought you would ask to know how much the other teams behind them are in terms of scoring offense, because you have Texas Tech right behind them at 52 a game, Tennessee at 51 a contest, Vandy at 49, USC at 48.4, Indiana 47.8, Oregon at 46.6, and at number 8 in the country is Virginia at 45.6, who they just lost to in double OT. So, since you like to see the schedule to know what kind of competition they got, size up the defensive opponents and the foes. Remember, they did score 31 on Alabama, 77 on East Texas A&M, who, you couldn't name two players if I gave you the roster for them.
Billy Jones and Sam Green are on that team. I looked it up.
Billy Jones and Sam Green?
Sam Green's a linebacker, Jones a backup wide receiver.
Okay, we'll take your word for it.
Do homework.
Okay. Kent State, they beat them 66-10, lost the game. So you got Miami, Pitt, we clicked on Stanford, which we didn't mean to do. Miami, Pitt, Stanford, Wake Forest, Clemson. Still got a defense. Virginia Tech at NC State at Florida. I am actually going to sell this. I'm not buying it. Florida State will be probably in the top 10 to 15 in scoring offense, but I think they will slow down considerably. Texas Tech will be up there for sure. Tennessee's probably going to be up there for sure. And somebody who's not high up there is going to shoot up the charts. One of those group of 5, outside the power 4 will shoot up there, putting up some mega numbers.
They got to score 50 a game. They're not getting 50 on Miami.
They will on Stanford. They will on Stanford.
They won't get it on Pittsburgh. Stanford, yes. Wake Forest, yes. Clemson, no. Virginia Tech, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say they might. They might. Depends what Tech team shows up by then.
Yeah, NC State.
And Florida, they're not doing it on Florida. And NC State is, NC State just lost to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you're right. They could slip out of the top 5, and I don't think they'll definitely will not slip out of the top 10. I think they'll be top 10 in scoring. I'm going to have to sell it. I don't think they'll be top 5.
Well, the fact that they're leading the country in scoring after last year, the 2-10 miserable year for Mike Norvell. You talk about a roller coaster going from the highs of thinking they'd be in the playoff, which you argued vehemently for them, to 2-10. They were calling for his job, to now he's back on cloud 9 again until he loses to UVA in double OT. Very fascinating roller coaster adventure for Mike Norvell and the Seminoles. That's going to complete this edition of Buy or Sell. When we return, we end this edition of 757 Sports Talk with Week 5 NFL picks. Yours truly, the coach and Bruce Pearl of the Virginia Beach Mustangs, will be back to give you selections in the league where they play for pay. But Ed will stop me right there and say, whoa. They play for pay in college now.
Everywhere
and in some
now.
cases, maybe even high school too, for that matter. But that's just one more time.
You could get a few. You could get a few dubs, score a couple of touchdowns, whatever. You could get paid.
How about coaches? Can you get paid?
Oh, they should get paid. I hope they get paid.
We've got more coming your way.
There are more kids making way more money than me, players on a college level, way more than I make as a head basketball coach.
And that's why you're so disgruntled and jealous, isn't it? Let's just be honest.
No, because I don't do it for the pay. So I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, we've got more coming your way. NFL picks. Like, share, and subscribe and interact with us on Cova Sports TV. Stick around.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
I'm Dr. Mark Cardelia, orthopedic surgeon and surgical director of the CHKD Sports Medicine Program. We see a lot of knee injuries in student athletes these days, and many of these are ACL tears. Parents often ask how to know when a knee injury may be serious. The most obvious symptom is severe pain or swelling in the knee joint. Your child may have heard a pop when the injury occurred. Look for signs they can't put weight on the knee around 48 hours after the injury, or if the knee feels unstable or wobbly. Those are all signs you should see a CHKD sports medicine specialist. Our sports medicine physicians, surgeons, athletic trainers, and physical therapists understand the needs of growing athletes and tailor treatment to fit each child's age and level of activity. Our goal is to accurately diagnose the problem in a timely fashion and provide the treatment that will ensure a safe return to activity. Kids want to play, and we want to help them get back in the game. To learn more, visit chkd.org. Sports medicine at CHKD. We're more than a hospital.
Hey, Alexa, do you like me?
I think you're magnificent.
Aw, I appreciate that.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we're back here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. And wherever you are, interact with us. It is now time for the picks in the National Football League. And, Ed, we take a look at the picks right now. And I tell you what, first and foremost, week number 4. Oh, it looked pretty good for Bruce and me. 2-1 marks for both of us as the Virginia Beach Mustangs maestro got himself a win with the Rams, laying the 3.5, 27-20. Got it done. Lost on the Baltimore Ravens minus the 2.5 against Kansas City. And he won with Chicago plus the 1.5. You say, how did he win with Chicago? Well, because they beat your Raiders, getting the job done against Las Vegas. So 2-1 for Bruce. Yours truly had the Rams as well, minus 3.5, a 27-20 winner. Chargers, a loser for me, minus 6.5 against the Giants. That was my survivor pick too. So my hopes of winning the $1 million cash out the window. Thank you very much, Justin Herbert. Thank you very much, Jim Harbaugh. And thank your brother, John Harbaugh, too. We'll blame him, too. Did win on Houston, which I should have had as my survivor pick, laying the 7.5, a 26-0 shutout, a shellacking against the Tennessee Titans in an AFC South tilt. You, my friend, had Philadelphia minus 3.5. You got that win, 31-25 over Tampa Bay. You lost, though, over 38.5 with Houston and Tennessee. I think I wrote down Indy. But that didn't work out for you. And you also lost with Washington, the Commanders, plus the 2.5 as Atlanta beat them 34-27. So that brings your season total to 4-8, 5-7 for me, 6-6 for Mr. Pearl. What do you have to say for yourself?
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I started off, I think, was that the first week? 3-0, 2-1, right? Back to 2-1s, and I haven't done anything since. So
you were 2-1, and then you went 0-3, and it's been all downhill since.
Okay, I've got to pick it up this week, or there will be a firing going on this week.
1-2 for me in 3 consecutive weeks. 2-1 this past week. I should have gone 3-0 the week before. Bruce has been more consistent. Went from 1-2 and 1-2 to 2-1, and there you have it. And then he went to 2-1 again. So that got him to mount 500. So here we go with the league where they play for pay. We fire up the picks, the music for it. What do you think here? I'm going to go first. And I'm going to give you my selection since I tied with Bruce for the best margin. You know, the Seahawks played last Thursday, 23-21 over my Cardinals, as I'm rocking the Bird Gang stuff today. I'll flip the hat back over. I'm going to go with Seattle with that extra rest against a very banged-up, battered Tampa Bay team that had the injuries. Mike Evans, offensive lineman. Tampa scored 20-plus every time out. Problem is their defense is starting to leak some oil, too, and I think Seattle's defense will play better in this game against Baker Mayfield. They'll avoid the comeback trail for Baker and the boys. Give me Seattle laying the 3.5. The hook does scare me just a little bit, but I like this one a lot. Give me the Seahawks to win and cover by at least a touchdown and beat the Bucs in the Pacific Northwest. You have the floor now for 2 selections.
Give me the Baltimore Ravens, who are utterly disappointing at 1-3.
Oh,
They're
are
1.5 underdog.
Cooper Rush, no Lamar. Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I still got to think they still have enough to knock down the Texans.
Derrick Henry, you like some Derrick Henry?
Yeah, just like the ball to Derrick Henry. Let him run. Give me the Ravens.
All right, so that's your first pick. You have one more to follow.
And I'm going to go with the Kool-Aid here. I can't believe the Cowboys are only 1.5 fave against the hapless Jets. And Dallas has got to do something after the game with Green Bay.
And then a tie. You love ties.
I hate ties. Hate. I like to wear them. That's it. Give me Dallas. I got to see Dallas winning by a touchdown over the Jets.
All right. So you're taking Dallas laying the 1.5 on the road in New York against the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay. You do know that Justin Fields has a better quarterback rating than Dak Prescott, right?
Surprising.
Yeah, he does. Did you hear what Breece Hall said, the Jets running back, the quote of the week?
No.
He said, some teams shoot themselves in the foot. We shoot ourselves in the head. Jeez. It's almost like, remember McKay, team's execution? He was asked about it. He was in favor of it. That's what it was like.
Yeah, he said I'm all favor.
Yeah. By the way, Dallas leads the all-time series with the Jets, 8-5, but New York has won 3 of the past 4 encounters. All right, I really was tempted to go with Denver, getting 4.5 on the road in Philly. And if they win this game by 2 touchdowns against an Eagles team that didn't complete a pass last week in the second half and have been sketchy on offense, I will be regretting it big time because Denver has cost me a couple times this year, and they were my trendy pick to win the AFC West before the season started. I'm going to stay away from them. I'm going to stay away from my Cardinals, laying the big number of 8.5 against Tennessee, even though I'm very tempted and I should do it. And I still may talk myself into doing it. But we'll get back to that in a second because I'm looking at the total in that game too. I look at another game, Washington and the Chargers. Very enticing. It really, really is. But I'm going to go to the division matchup in Buffalo. New England at Buffalo. And the Bills were not great last week against New Orleans, Ed. New England's going there. It's a big number. But I think Buffalo's going to beat them by more than the 8.5. So I will lay the 8.5 for Sunday Night Football with Josh Allen and the Bills to get some distance on their win against New England for pick number 2 in our NFL selections. And for my final choice, I looked really hard at the over-under in the Giants and the Saints. The total, have you seen the total on the game Sunday in the pond with the Browns and the Vikes? You see how low it is?
I think I know why it's that low.
Well, it is low because you have the quarterback matchup of Wentz versus Gabriel, 35.5. I tell you what, if that was 38.5, I'd still take the under. But I'm going to stay away from that. It might be the one you end up taking for your last choice. Nonetheless, you went last week with Tennessee and an over, and it didn't work out for you. I'm going to go to the well here with my Cardinals and the Titans at over 41.5 for Arizona and Tennessee. And I think the offenses will do it here. And Arizona might by themselves score 31. So I will take the chance here of over 41.5 between the Cards and the Titans. Give it to me for the final selection to go with Bills minus 8.5 and Seattle laying the 3.5.
I looked at some overs and unders, and you mentioned them all. But I'm a little tepid in terms of doing it.
I didn't mention them all. I didn't mention Bills, the Lions and Bengals or Chiefs and Jags. I didn't mention those two, but go ahead.
I'm going to go to a team that I don't remember the last time I picked them to win. The New York Giants. Because my Yankees are in the divisional playoffs.
Oh.
I'm going to put some residue of that onto the Giants, even though they're going down to New Orleans. I'm going, believe it or not, Giants plus 1.5 over the Saints. I'm putting my stock on the rush, the giant rush against whoever is quarterbacking for the Saints, Archie Manning, whoever. That's why I'm going with the Giants.
Well, it's Spencer Rattler, but you should be confident in that pass rush with guys like Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence and company. The thing that would scare me, excuse me?
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, the rookie. I hear you. But what should scare you is the first 0-3 team to beat a 3-0 team in literally 17 years. And now you're asking that rookie quarterback in one Jackson Dart to go win on the road in New Orleans, which is not an easy environment to go win it.
Without their number one receiver.
And Malik Neighbors, who's done for the season. So while I love Cam Scatterbo, do I see Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton make a plays? Probably not. And I could see Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara get off in this game for New Orleans. Don't forget about Kool-Aid McKinstry on defense, and plus Jonas Sanker, youngster out of the Covenant School in Virginia for them at safety. 3 career pass breakups and had his first INT last week in New Orleans' loss to Buffalo. So again, to recap the picks, Ed's got Ravens plus the 1.5. Dallas minus the 1.5. Giants plus the 1.5 at the Saints. Cowboys are at the Jets. Ravens hosting the Texans. I'm going Seattle minus 3.5 at home against Tampa. Buffalo laying 8.5 against New England, and the Cardinals Titans to go over 41.5. Just need 42 guys. Give me a 28-14 win, and I'm a happy camper by 0.5 point. And if my Birds win it, even better. And you see Bruce Pearl's choices for week number 5. That's going to do it. Coach, enjoy your sports weekend as your Bronx Bombers try to get one step closer to the Fall Classic. And we'll talk to you next week as we inch closer and closer, not just the playoffs and the World Series and the start of college and high school basketball, but also closer to one of your favorite holidays, Halloween. Get the tricks, get the treats, get the costumes ready. Don't shake your head.
Get rid of Halloween. It serves absolutely zero.
Why? Why are you hating on Halloween? My niece would just be traumatized.
No. If I was dictator of the world, Halloween would be gone.
Well, you're not. That guy's name is Donald. And again, we'll do this next time. For he, Edward, I'm Matthew, and we'll talk to you next time. You've been watching 757 Sports Talk on COVA Sports TV. Take care, everyone. See you later. Good job, Green Bay. We got a tie. Jordan Love, heck of a performance for him. 337 through the air with 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott played pretty well, too, with 319 and 3 TDs. And McManus, who looked like he got concussed, had to hit that clutch field goal to get them a tie. Don't you love ties? And you've got more ties in your closet than anybody I know. You have to love ties. 40-40. It's the first ever 40-40 tie I can ever remember.
I mind my ties that I get to wear, but these type of ties in the game, professional sports, is like kissing your sister, they say.
What?
It's not a good thing. You've got to declare a winner. They could have had.
Well, I've never kissed my sister, so how's it taste?
I wouldn't know yet.
Hey.